Hey everybody, my name is Dwayne Huff, founder and creator of Take the Stage Band Leadership Seminars, where we help student leaders inspire superior performance. And today I want to share with the band directors out there. If you're watching this, I want you to know, if you haven't heard any of my story, I'm not a band director. I've never been a band director, but I honor you for what you do, because I know my band directors throughout the course of my development stage as a musician helped shape my destiny, my mind, my thought process, and my leadership experience. So again, I honor you for taking on that role and serving in that capacity. But you know, today I wanted to come and share with you, because I know how frustrating it can be whenever you want your student leadership, whether it's your band captain, your drum major, your section leaders, whoever it might be. All you really need them to do, and all you really want them to do, is just take initiative, make decisions for themselves, and be creative in the way that they push things forward and carry out what you've asked them to do. But I also know from my own personal experience as a student leader that you don't want me taking initiative in everything. There are some things that you as a band director expect from me as a student leader that are non-negotiable, because they're things that have to be carried out to make the program a success. However, there are certain things that you just want me to be creative around, that you just want me to use my creative abilities and my special talents to go out and execute without you as the band director having to tell me. But how do we differentiate? How do we make sure that our students or our student leaders aren't off chasing rabbits, creating more work for us as band directors, or creating more work for you as a band director, but still executing the things that need to get done and taking the initiative without you having to go behind them? And you know, I've worked with several bands across the country now. I started this company a year ago. Accidentally, actually. I had some old contacts from college, and we connected, and they knew that I'd been out across the country speaking to high school students and college students and even some higher education people. And they said, Dwayne, why don't you come share some of the things that you've learned with my student leaders? I mean, weren't you a drum major? And I was a drum major for 5 different organizations, and ended up my student leadership role as vice president for Kappa Kappa Psi at McNeese State University. And you know, there were times as a student leader where I was taking initiative and doing it in all the right ways. But there were times whenever I would take initiative in a certain direction and get my hand slapped. And it really, over time, started to affect my impact as a leader. And recently, when I was at a high school doing a program with the band program, we did a full day seminar where I worked with the student leaders, not just the drum majors, but the entire student leadership team. And what we were able to do in that session was have the band director and the entire student leadership team sit down and pound out responsibilities for the team, talk about the common goals that they had and the vision that they had, and ultimately have the conversation between the band director and the student leaders with, you know what, here's what I expect as a band director, here's the things that I'm going to be handling, here's the things I need you guys to handle, and you know what, here are the non-negotiables, here's what I need done this way, I don't need any deviation off of it, and I don't want you creating and making things up. But other than that, these other responsibilities, I give you ownership and allow you to make the decisions you need to make. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. Let me know and we'll clean it up. But that simple act of sitting down and having that conversation, to where in no uncertain terms, everybody knew their role and what was expected of them, and they also knew where they had the freedom to be creative and take initiative. And if you haven't done that recently with your student leadership, or if you haven't done it yet this year with that student leadership, I've got to tell you, the impact on that band was absolutely tremendous. So I want to invite you to do that with your band this season before you get into your next marching season. And that's really what I wanted to share with you, is that if you're doing it already, fantastic, phenomenal, keep doing it, because your student leaders truly need that confidence to know this is what's expected of me, but this is where I can stretch and take my own creative initiative, and it develops and grows them as a leader, but it also gets things done for you. So until I talk to you next time, shoot me a line, leave a comment or send me an email if you have any questions about how I can impact and help your student leadership. And you know what, if you haven't yet, run over to my website, bandleadership.net, sign up for the free 3-part video series that I've created for your student leaders, and sit down with them, go through that in a couple of your different classes, and allow me to bring value to your student leadership and help them to grow as student leaders, so you can have an even stronger marching band program next semester. Until I see you next time, again, my name is Dwayne Huff. Thank you for joining me.